Good morning and welcome to your favorite breakfast show, that is Smell the Coffee. I'm your host, Glenora Shipura, and I will be keeping you company for the next 30 minutes. Now, coming up in today's broadcast, we will, of course, give you very interesting and bizarre story and, of course, interesting interviews. Now, I understand that yesterday was a public holiday. Everybody was resting. I was also looking forward to the rest. But what did you guys get up to yesterday? Were you guys also annoyed that yesterday was a public holiday and today is not a public holiday? You know, and then on Monday, it's again a public holiday. Are you also annoyed like all of us? Because we're like, we could have had like a very, very long weekend these from Friday to Monday. But yes, do let us know what you guys got up to yesterday and also what you're going to get up to on the long weekend. For me, I'm trying to get into reading again. I've seen a lot of books being recommended, especially on social media. There's such a thing called book talk. There's a book that's really trending right now called The Fourth Wing. So if you guys have read it or are planning to read it or know about the series, do let me know if it's a worthwhile purchase. Now, on that note, we will be right back with some bizarre news on the other side of the break.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nhom.com.na.
Getting into your top stories. Now, this story is not necessarily bizarre, but it is quite interesting. NASA's ambitious Dragonfly mission has just passed a critical milestone, the Critical Design Review. That's a fancy space speak for all systems go. This means the team is officially cleared to begin building the final hardware and software, piecing together the world's first nuclear-powered rotorcraft designed to fly on another world. Set for a 2028 launch, Dragonfly is part of NASA's New Frontiers program and carries a price tag of a jaw-dropping $3.35 billion US. But this isn't just high tech for the sake of it. Dragonfly is on a mission to uncover the secrets of life itself. Unlike traditional Mars rovers or stationary landers, Dragonfly is more like a space-age helicopter. It will fly, hop, and hover across Titan's icy, hazy terrain. Think of it as a flying lab equipped with science tools to analyze surface chemistry and atmospheric conditions, all while being powered by a nuclear heart. The big question it's chasing, could life exist in such an alien environment? Now, so while we sweep our coffee here on Earth, Dragonfly will one day be cruising through orange skies, sniffing out the building blocks of life nearly 1.4 billion kilometers away. That's not just science fiction, it's the next chapter in human exploration. And who knows, Titan's secrets might help us understand how life begins on Earth and maybe beyond. One small step for NASA, one giant leap for big sci-fi dreams. I am quite excited about this. I am a sci-fi buff girly. I just finished watching The Three-Body Problem, which talks about how some scientists made contact with other life forms outside of Earth, and so these aliens are heading to Earth and they are coming to conquer Earth. and it's not a friendly invasion, so if there is ever a friendly invasion. So I'm always curious about what life looks like outside of Earth. Like, is it true? Are some of these things science fiction, or is there really life outside, of planet Earth, other aliens, other species? And would there be a hostile environment between us, or is it a friendlier environment? So who knows? And maybe after the launch of the Dragonfly in 2028, we might have some answers to this. All right, now let's take a look at some interesting interviews we had with the Mr. and Miss. Let's have a look, actually.
Today we are joined by Savannah Pereira. She is the reigning Miss Supernatural, and today we are going to be talking all things tiaras. As you can see, she's having one sashes. She came prepared and high heels. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Let's talk about your journey as a beauty queen. Where did it start, and what does winning Miss Supernatural mean to you as a Namibian?
So my journey actually started when I was 15. I started watching Miss Universe, and I was so intrigued by how those women carry themselves, how they're so powerful in their own voice, and they're so confident, and I wanted that. So I was very, very invested. I was a hardcore pageant fan. And then I think it was in 2021 or 2020, around there, where I kind of thought, I want to do this. And my cousin sent me the post that Miss Supranational is now in Namibia, because I also got into that a bit when Yana went.
Nice.
And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready yet. So yeah, and then I waited 4 years, waited to be ready. And last year, gosh, it was after a horrible day. And I saw the entry form pop up again, and I was like, Savannah, let's just do it. It's a dream. Let's do this. So yeah.
And then you did it.
I entered.
And then you won.
I did it, and then I won, and now we're
you're
here.
the queen.
So
now you're going on an international stage to
Yes.
represent Namibia in Poland. And you said to me it's going to happen in June. That takes a lot of preparation. How are you then preparing mentally and physically for it?
So we're doing a lot of mental prep to ensure that my mind is very strong. So a lot of get to know myself sessions, a lot of journaling. So we're doing that. Obviously, lots of gym sessions. I'm doing a lot of walk training, all of the cliches, but we're doing that. The main focus, though, is my mind, because it's a 3-week competition. So it's important that you stay strong up here, so that you can actually convey what's going on in here.
Love that. And then so far, what has been your biggest takeaway from the Supernatural competition itself?
One thing I must say is that confidence makes a woman glow. So you can be the most beautiful girl, you can have the most beautiful outfit, but if you're not confident in what you're wearing and what you're saying, it's just not going to come across that way. You're not going to glow the way someone who maybe is more to the, let's put it like this, someone who's not really into pageantry, but they have that glow, they're so confident in themselves, that woman will just shine. Yeah.
Talk to us about representation, which is such a huge thing. How do you feel about representing yourself and Namibia at large?
I'm extremely honored. Namibia is my home. So it's an honor, that's all I can say. It really is an honor to represent Namibia and to showcase on a global stage our potential and what we can do.
So what do you stand for?
I stand for neurodiversity. So my goal is to raise awareness around neurodiversity and inclusive education. So I myself am neurodiverse. So I want to lead by example and share my story, yeah.
That's beautiful. You know, being a celebrity, being a title holder comes with a lot of pressure. How do you then handle online criticism?
I've been fortunate enough not to have too much criticism online. So I haven't dealt with that yet, but what I do is I kind of block out social media for a little bit. So I post and I engage when I need to, but I take necessary breaks. I also don't look at comments unless it's my own, and I go give some love back because I appreciate all the love that's been given to me. But I try steer away from the topic as much as possible and just do my job when it needs to be done.
Awesome stuff. What are your future goals, career plans? What then after June?
After June, I'll still be carrying the title. So the goal is to further expand beyond the dream as much as possible. Obviously, even after my reign, I will be doing that.
Yeah.
So Beyond the Dream is my from the ground up project. I do divergent thinking activities with children who are neurodiverse to empower their way of thinking.
Nice.
So I want to grow beyond the dream. And then ideally, I'd love to start my own creative agency. I am in the creative space. So I'd love to do that.
Nice.
And eventually end up on Forbes 30 under 30.
Love that.
Let's see if that happens.
Do you know how to get on Forbes 30 under 30?
I've done some research.
You
I need
can
to
just
do more
apply.
research.
Just apply for it. Perhaps you just follow their page on social media. The applications are available.
Yeah.
You submit everything they ask you to, and we would see your beautiful face as a cover girl on Forbes 30 under 30.
Well, as soon as my portfolio is strong enough, I think definitely it's something that I do want to go for.
So what is your message rather to young women out there?
So I say this a lot, I really do, but stop waiting for someone to believe in you. You need to believe in yourself, because the exterior validation, it's not going to be enough. It will never be enough to make you feel worthy of going for your dreams. And it's something that I wish someone would have told me when I was younger, because I kept waiting for the right time to enter Miss Supranational until I felt ready. But it was actually until someone told me, oh, why don't you do it? You know, I was waiting for that. So it kind of paused my dream a little bit, took me a few steps back, but I believed in myself, and here we are.
Here we are. All right, Savannah, thank you so much for joining us on Smell the Coffee. We wish you all the best. We will be watching. I am a pageant fan, so I will be watching. I'll be cheering on, and please do not hesitate to reach out if you need anything, if you need this platform for something, if you want to come and advocate further, just reach out. Never be afraid, you know, to reach out or ask for help.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right.
And thank you for having me today. It's been lovely.
You are welcome. We will be right back. Please stick around. This morning on Smell the Coffee, we are dissecting a topic that is really unheard of: male pageantry. Many people shy away from, you know, entering pageant competitions as men, but today we have somebody who has brave societal misconceptions and has won himself the title of Master Supranational 2024. How are you feeling?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
You are most welcome. So, Muluki Samoka,
Yes.
tell us about where your pageantry journey began and why you decided to enter a competition, because this is unheard of.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have been in the modeling or beauty and fashion scene for 8 years as a fashion model. So I already had a background in modeling. So me entering Mr. Supranational or just pageantry in general was just me branching out into another form of modeling. So yeah, I did that, but I saw an opportunity in pageantry because it's about you. So I saw an opportunity to grow in various aspects of my life. So yeah, I took that opportunity, and I also saw how powerful the Supranational brand can be as a platform. So yeah.
And so far, what has been the most challenging part of this whole supranational journey?
Well, for me, initially, it was a battle of the mind, just getting to that point where you completely defeat imposter syndrome and you actually get to believe in yourself and convince yourself that I'm actually worthy of this title, or as a man I can also, you know, accomplish this. So yeah, it was just that, mostly a battle of the mind and just fighting, you know, the inner voices and truly conquering that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned previously,
Yeah.
there's a lot of misconceptions around male pageantry. What do you think is the biggest myth when it comes to male pageantry?
Well, there are a lot actually, and I just realized that while joining pageantry. But one of the biggest would be that men that do pageantry are either too soft, or the other one that I learned of while joining the pageantry scene is that male pageantry is all about body, looks, and no substance at all. And it's actually the opposite. It's in as much as it's about looks, obviously it's a beauty pageant, but it's also about having a heart of service. It's also about how well accomplished you are, your personality, and you interacting with other people. Yeah, so I think that is the biggest shock or culture shock that I had to, you know, encounter.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, you know, pageantry is about balancing, you know, your leadership skills, your personality,
Right.
and perhaps your advocacy and what you're really passionate about.
Yeah.
So how do you then embody all these three qualities to make up this wholesome person that I'm interviewing now?
All right. So I am actually a chemical and process engineer intern. So throughout me competing in Mr. Supranational Namibia, I was trying to find a way in which I can incorporate my career and my other interests, such as fashion modeling or engineering, into my journey. So, which is why I decided to advocate in adult literacy and skill development. And I saw that as an opportunity because I asked myself, what do I have? And I realized that I have the skills that I have obtained from engineering. So I decided to find ways in which I can give that to somebody, whether it's not even at an engineering level, but just as maybe basic mathematics, or being able to read or write, or just being able to know how to use a computer.
Yeah.
So I found ways in which I can pass down that knowledge to people.
So what is then your advocacy?
All right, my advocacy is in adult literacy and
Love
just
that.
overall skill development. I think it stemmed from me growing up at the earliest stages of my life. I realized how a lack of education, or just the basic skills of how to be able to read or how to write, can negatively set back a person in life. So I realized that at an early age, and I saw that this is an area that we need to highlight more on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how this whole title has impacted you.
Well, it's a lot that came with it, you know.
Yeah.
But one thing I realized is that there is actually a power in the platform. Me competing, while I was competing and nobody knew about me as me now as a title holder, there is a big difference, because I've seen a big difference in the attention and the traction that I have, you know, and the attention that I have been able to bring towards my cause.
Nice.
There are a lot of people that were interested in what I have to say now, especially in adult literacy. So yeah, I saw that, you know, that impactful moment. Yeah.
Okay. Let's then talk about your representation of Namibia on a global scale. What do you plan to do? What do you hope to achieve? And how do you plan on being the best version of yourself on that stage?
Well, obviously we are aiming for gold. Regardless what the circumstances might look like, gold should always be the number one aim, I think, in everything that we strive to do. So yeah, so like I have definitely been putting in the work, especially in my preparations in the gym, as well as just preparing my mind, and many other areas, interviewing, work. We have been doing a lot of, you know, preparations. So yeah, I'm just very honored to be able to carry the Namibian name, and just tell the world what we are about, who we are. Yeah.
Okay. And so then what advice do you have to young men who look up to you, who want to do the same type of work that you do, be it as an engineer or be it as a model?
All right. Well, for me, firstly, I would advise them to know their why.
Yeah.
Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to become an engineer, a doctor, a police officer, or why do you want to enter Mr. Supranational or any other pageant? I think once you know your why and you solidify it within yourself, within your mind and within your heart, I think nobody else's opinion should matter. I think that's when things really start making sense, and every challenge, every setback that you will encounter in your journey to accomplishing your dreams won't really stop you, because you have a greater purpose behind you. So yeah, just know your why and go for it, strike for gold.
Know why you are here, strike for gold. I think that's what I'm going to do today. I'm definitely going to be out there and strike for gold. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Coffee. You are most definitely welcome, and we will be right back shortly.
Feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should go. Go. Feel like I should go. Feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should go. Feel like I should go.
Before the break, that was Mr. and Miss Supernatural, two very amazing, inspiring individuals. Now, before I let you go, here's a few concepts and ideas you guys can mull over for the long weekend. The first one is, if I had a rocket. Now, if you had your own personal spacecraft for the weekend, where in the universe would you go and why? Personally, I don't know what I'll do. I don't know if I'll even, I think I love Earth. I think I'm more of, I'll rather explore Earth itself. So I don't know if I want to explore the galaxy. But do let us know in our comment section if you would, go somewhere. Maybe you want to take a trip to Mars and so forth. Second concept is local adventure challenge. So explore your own city like a tourist. What's one place nearby that you've always wanted to visit but never have? Maybe it could be a museum, it could be a restaurant, it could be a hotel even. I've gone to the Hilton, for instance, but I've never slept there. So maybe I can spoil myself for the weekend and go there. But it's just something like that. You know what? What's one thing that you want to do for yourself that's very close to proximity? You don't need to drive out. It's just literally, you go to town or wherever it is that you want to explore, and try to do that. Give yourself something nice for yourself. Spoil yourselves, people. Next one is unplug to reboot. Now this one, I think I'm mulling over doing it, but I think it's very difficult for most of us. Could you go tech-free for one day this long weekend? What would you do instead? Yeah, I mean, I need to also explore this one, because if I go tech-free, does that mean that I am not allowed to watch TV? So no TV, no cell phone, no computer. Oof. Yeah, what will I do with myself? So yeah, for sure, I will definitely read, definitely cook. I don't know what else I'll do. Another one that you could explore is creating your own space-themed experience at home, and what would be on your intergalactic menu. So these are all interesting concepts to explore. Do let us know in the comment sections what you guys would do with some of these ideas. From me, Glenn Rashipura. Until next time.